Welcome to MLM Nation, a podcast of leaders, by leaders, for leaders, hosted by Simon Chan. He's built a team of over 200,000 and is now a full-time MLM coach and trainer. So if you're ready to level up your business, join us now. Let's do this.
MLM Nation, this is Simon Chan. We got a special episode today on what is the future of network marketing. Is it getting easier? Is it getting harder? And what you need to do and what the things that I've observed in the last year or so. Especially, I would say the last 6 to 12 months, a lot of changes have been going through the profession. And, we've had some, I want to be positive, but we've had some major companies give up the MLM model and go to affiliate. Basically, all the leaders lost their residual income aside from the personal sales. They lost all their downlines. Some major companies I never thought would have ever happened, right? Major skincare company, major weight loss company. There was other companies, cosmetic companies. There were some major names. In the past, it would have been maybe once, I'll say 5 years, 10 years. I remember when AdvoCare changed. That was the big thing. It's the first time I've heard about something major like that. And this year, we had 2 or 3 major companies do that. When I say this year, 2024. So what's happening in 2025? Is network marketing getting easier or harder, and where it's going? And what inspired me to do this podcast was I got 2 recently text messages. One was a Facebook message, one was a WhatsApp message, and from people I did one-on-one coaching with. And from, give her a shout out, Catherine Murray. I actually haven't posted it yet, but Alice Espiritu. Catherine's from Ireland. Alice is from Australia. And major rank advancements. Alice won a free trip to Hawaii. Catherine blew up her team. And I wanted to share that because it wasn't like we just did one-on-one coaching right away. It was really something we did like 3-4 years ago. Even the pandemic, I think, was during with Catherine. And I think that's something you have to realize. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this, where success may not happen right away. But if you stay with it, eventually it will happen. And so is network marketing, what's the future of network marketing? Number one, I just want to say that network marketing will always be around. I read a book, and I'll put it in the show notes page, really anti-network marketing book. I almost didn't want to mention this book. I may have mentioned it on the podcast before. I really don't want to mention it, but it's called Ponzi-nomics. And it's from one of the number one most biggest haters to our profession, network marketing profession. Talk about all the reasons why network marketing is bad, blah, 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 blah. Definitely the number one most public critic, the guy, Robert Fitzpatrick. But one of the things about the book was, I don't know what his purpose was, but it actually increased my belief in the profession, right? Because he talked about how the government, believe it or not, supports network marketing. And because why? It's because it's selling the American dream, right? And this is you can say the worldwide dream as well. It's selling the American dream of rags to riches, struggling and feeling underpaid, and finally getting paid what you deserve. Or you have skills and talent, but your boss doesn't realize it, and you finally get that. Or you have hidden potential inside you that you never knew, and then it comes out, and you want to make something more of it. And I think a lot of you can relate to that. And and that's part of human desire, we want to be paid more than we're worth, right? We feel, or at least equal to what we're worth. We don't want to be taking instructions from a boss to having someone tell us what to do. And as long as that's going to be around, network marketing is going to be around. So what's the future of network marketing? I believe is always going to be around. It could be harder and also easier. And in this episode, we're going to talk about why in many ways it's going to be harder. In some ways, it could be easier. But generally, it is going to be harder, but it will be worth it. And the harder part is actually not the whole government and the economy. It is the mindset, right? We talk about the simple online system. I help you recruit and build a team by staying consistent with a simple online system. And the number one step for that system is leading yourself. And I was sharing this with my group coaching, the Consistency Champions. And I asked them, we're going over this lesson the other day, and talked about if you had precious one-on-one time with your downline, what's the most important thing you need to teach them, right? Now, if you ask the downline, what's the thing they need to learn the most? They will say that they need to learn the skills, how to talk about a product, how to sell the product, but really the number one skill that we all need is the mindset, right? The attitude to successful. But if you ask that new person, they say, what do you need? You need a new attitude. You need better mindset. They'll be like, oh, what the heck? They'll probably be angry at you, or maybe offended. Like you have a bad, because everyone thinks they have the right attitude. But the reality is most people don't have the mindset and attitude to be successful in business because we're not taught that way. We are not, no one taught us entrepreneurship. No one taught us like making mistakes is bad, right? But that's what we're taught. Making mistakes is bad. But actually making mistakes in business is actually good because it is the only way you learn. So let me share a few things. We have all these tools now to help us. And is network marketing easier or harder? And I think I kind of gave it to you. Like we have all these tools with AI, we have social media, right? Things that even when I started 21 years ago, we never had, but we have them today. But it seems like network marketing is harder. And the reason why it is overwhelmed, right? Overwhelmed is so many options out there. And social media actually doesn't help, right? You have to learn how to use social media to make money and not to lose money, right? If you are struggling, it's so easy. It's like, well, this is not working. I'm doing Instagram Reels. I got a great course from my friend, Brian Fryer. He's got a great course on that. And you're not getting any traction in 30 days. So it's not working. So I got to go and do TikTok, right? For my friends, Mike Costola and Carlos Shaw, they have a great TikTok course. I'll put all these links in the show notes page. But you're never going to get good by doing 30 days, jumping here and there and here. And I was sharing this on our Consistency Champion group coaching. Like one of the members, her goal was, and I'm not going to say her name because I love her attitude and she's new. Her goal was to recruit 3 people. And she realized the numbers she needed was a lot. She needed, because her war market didn't believe her. She had to find new people. So we work on 12-week goals. And 12-week goals, and I encourage you to do 90-day goals. I've been talking about that every day on social media, important short-term goals. If you factor in how much time left to March 31st, the deadline, you really don't have much time to work on your goals. But you really need to be, every second counts. You need that stress, you need that urgency. Every minute counts. And this past week, her company had a health initiative, and she was inviting people to a health workshop, and she got prospects there that were interested in the products. And she wanted to know how to close them, get them to sign up, which is, I think, great. But at the end of the day, that is not what her goal was. Her goal was to get team members. Now, you can say you can convert these customers to team members, yes, but that's not what she wanted. That's when we sat down for her goals in December. Her goal was to meet people on social media, connect with them, send them to a business presentation, close them. It was not send people to the health workshop and do that. But what ends up happening, and what happened to a lot of network marketers, you get distracted. Not that the company has bad intentions. They're doing the best to offer you, but you have your personal goals and you need to stay focused with that. And most network marketers, they don't have that mindset or the guidance to do that. And even the uplines, they don't know, right? They don't know, like, hey, this is what we need to do. So fortunately for this woman, I called it out. Hey, you got to get back to what you're doing because you said you're going to reach out on social media, 100 reach outs. That was her goal. I think that was 100, 120. That was her goal, whatever she said. She agreed to it, right? And she realized that is realistic, is possible, but she needed to focus on it. But I broke down the numbers and everything for this goal setting guide. If you want the goal setting guide, I'll put the link in the show notes page. Or on you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put it in the description. So the goal setting breaks down the exact numbers you need. And she realized those are the numbers, but she just lost out an entire 4 or 5 days because she was focused on this health workshop. And now, so instead of 100, she only got maybe 20. She has to make up that 80 to get that goal, right? And so that's like an example of self-sabotage, not even realizing it. Because there's so many distractions, so many things going on. And trainings going from here to here to here to here. The business is actually very simple. You work on the DMO. You work on the daily method of operation, the list of income produced activities, core activities you need to do. Post on social media, meeting new people, sending out invites, following up with them, and doing presentations. I mean, you do that same 5 boring tasks over and over and over again. But because of the lack of mindset training and focus, entrepreneur mindset, we just dabble everywhere, right? And then it's like, I always use the example of a buffet. Like, I used to love buffets as a kid. Now I really don't like them because I end up not even remembering what I really ate, except for I stuffed myself. I didn't feel good, right? Like, I wanted sushi, but I also wanted some, teriyaki salmon, right? I also wanted some ice cream. I wanted dessert. But normally, like, I'd rather go to a sushi restaurant, get great sushi, then go to the buffet, get a little sushi, get a little this, get some chicken and fried wings and everything, salad. And then afterwards, I'm stuffed. I don't even remember what I ate. I didn't really enjoy anything. And I think that's a good analogy. If you want to be successful, you got to focus on one thing. Too many things, right? And I talked about this in my group coaching. It's like deep work, going deep. One of the things that helped me out when I think about my journey to success, because I never did any sales, was when I first started, I didn't know prospecting, but I went on Amazon and got every single book. And that time, by the way, we didn't have social media. We didn't have live videos. We didn't have any of these resources. Our team was one of the first online teams building online way back in 2003. Thanks to my mentor and good friend, Steve Schwartz. Give him a shout out. But no one else was doing it. But so what I did was learning about recruiting. I went to Amazon and bought every book on selling, right? Now, these were even geared towards network marketing, but they didn't have any trainings really on network marketing. But I just bought on selling. So I thought network marketing is about selling or communication. And I read every one of those books and I studied them. Go back to them over and over again. And I was actually talking to one of my best friends from Philadelphia, came over during the weekend 3 weeks ago, right before Christmas, and talking about kids nowadays, how back in, we were both sports fans, and back in the day, when we watched Michael Jordan or Larry Bird, we saw something on TV, and we saw turnaround jumper by Michael Jordan, and we would just practice it over and over again, right? It was in our mind. Oh, no, we want to do that turnaround jumper. Or he was a big Larry Bird fan, shooting the ball the way Larry did on the baseline. Just practice it over and over again, and that's how we got good. Over and over again. But now the new generation is like, I see my kids, you see a clip of LeBron James, and then you have an Instagram reel. The next reel is about John Morant, and the next reel you see someone else and someone else. You see like 20, 50 different highlights, but when you're practicing, you can't remember what you actually saw. But as opposed to when we did it, we looked at every little thing about Michael Jordan. How did he use his body? How did he use his footwork? How did he create the separation? Where did he shoot the ball? Which hand? We looked at all the little details, and it's the little details that create success, right? So when you're doing a presentation, how do you use your voice to close? How do you edify your upline? How do you talk about the pay, for example, if you talk about the pay plan, or how you get paid? How do you share your story? The little details is what creates success, right? Going deep. So going back to one thing that helped me become successful, not only just reading the sales books, when we did online advertising that you could in 2004. That's all I studied for 6 months. Now, I'm not saying you can't do many different things, but focus. If you're doing Instagram, go give it 6 months of every single day, just all you do. And then you're going to realize you're going to learn those small little details of that will totally change, right? Deep work. When I went to Malaysia, I didn't go build Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, all these different things. I focused on Malaysia. I spent like 2 years of my life, a year and a half of my life there. I had an apartment for 2 years, spent there. Basically, you add up all the time. I lived there for a year and a half, traveling, learning the culture, meeting friends. And I didn't focus on any other country, just on that. And then once I built that, the same thing in the Philippines. I got to learn the Filipino culture. Really, in Philippines was like a year. And I actually went back 10 times in 2 years. Not going to 10 different countries, 10 times in the same country, back and forth over there. And I had an apartment there for the year. That's another example, 2 years, going deep, right? So whatever you need to work on, whether it's Instagram or LinkedIn, because I see so many people, hey, I'm doing Instagram, not working. Let me go to LinkedIn because I saw a leader do that. Or someone's doing this, I should do that. Stay focused in that lane. And one of the reasons why we want to do something else is because of the fear of the wrong choice. Like we have self-doubt, right? And it goes to the lack of vision. If your vision, like you have your vision, if I'm going to do Instagram really good, you have that vision, and your vision is exciting, you will be consistent. Like for me, I post every day. I do a story every day. right? My daily gratitude. Because you have to feel like if I don't do that one day, that's the one day I'm going to lose people. That's the one day people are going to criticize me, right? That I'm not consistent. So that fear of missing out keeps me going. And that's the part of the vision. It's like I'm consistent and I got to set a good example. I got to show up every day. So the self-doubt makes us, hey, maybe it's not working, right? But it's the focus. It's like going to the grocery store. This guy, a very famous online marketer, Pat Flynn, talked about it's like you go to the grocery store, there's different lines, and you go one line. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I went the wrong line. That line's going faster, right? And you feel like switching, but should I switch? Should I don't? And sometimes you ever switched, and then you switch, and then you realized, oh my goodness, I should have stayed in that line. I remember I just did that at TSA. At TSA at the LAX airport. It was 5 lines. And I was like, well, which line should I go? Actually, it wasn't TSA. Well, I think it was in Spain when I went to Rob Sperry's mastermind. Because at TSA, I have pre-check, right? That's easy. It wasn't TSA. It was somewhere else. It was in Spain where I didn't have pre-check and 5 lines. And I'm going here. Oh, I'm too slow. I should have gone there. And then you go there. And that's the same example of network marketers where you screw up because you had self-doubt and you jump around and you've been way better. So think about this. If going back to the TSA pre-check, normally there's just one line. It's way better. I don't need to think about which line is faster, which is slow. There's only one line, and I'm staying focused. And you know what? It creates way less stress as well. So you can focus on what you're doing. Now, if you do get distracted by different trainings, here's something that'll be helpful. It's go just in time or on time, right? If you're focusing on LinkedIn and you see another training about LinkedIn recruiting, that's just in time. That's just in time. It's perfect, right? But if your goal is to focus on LinkedIn and you see a strategy about growing in Instagram, don't even look at it. That's great training, but some other time. That's personal development for some other time. And especially with reading books as well, right? I used to read all these books. Like I'm in my other office right now, but if you saw my home office, all these books, it was actually a curse. Because and I've been the same way when I was doing online marketing, I was doing this and doing this. It was confused the heck out of me. Then I learned just in time or some other time, right? I need to work on live videos, be a better speaker, a book about speaking. Hey, that's just in time. I'm going to read it. But another book about training downlines, but hey, I'm focused on speaking. That's some other time. I'm going to read that some other time. I'm going to focus on this. Another reason why I self-doubt is because we're worried about making the wrong choice. We have the fear of making the wrong choice. And why network marketing in many ways is harder, the future network marketing is harder, because you see Instagram, everyone, it's doing well, right? And that's someone's highlight reel. Don't compare your reality to someone's highlight reel. That's a highlight reel. You don't see the mess they're in. Like, I'll be fully transparent. My life is a mess. I look good on social media, but it's a mess. It's chaos at home with 3 kids, 3 boys, and a dog, right? Obi is getting old. He's up 16 years old now. Can you believe it? All this crazy stuff going on. We have sports and I'm working to serve you. It's a mess. But on social media, it looks good. So it's very easy to think that, wow, they're looking good. I'm not looking good, right? And then you think you are screwing up. You're making all the mistakes. But mistakes is how we learn. We either win or we learn. There's no winning and losing. But again, that goes against how you're raised, how we're brought up. So focus. Instead of the results, the lack of results, focus on activity. That's one of the key things. And I do my best to train and raise my kids. I say I'm training my kids to think that way. When they do well in sports or they do well in school, but they didn't study hard, I don't reward them. But if they did something courageous, brave, or great attitude, doesn't matter if they do well or not, I reward them. Right? Like my son the other day wasn't feeling that well, but he sucked it up and he played basketball. He didn't play the best game because he was sluggish. $5 I gave him. Right? He didn't play well, but he toughed it up because the team needed him and he sucked it up. Right? Now I know some of you say, well, you shouldn't make your son play when he's sick, but I showed him the Michael Jordan game, right? Or leaders show up when they need to show up. That was his game. Wasn't feeling that good. So you got to show up. You're okay. You show up. Your team needs you. You can show up. And if you don't know what I mean by the Michael Jordan game, 1997 championship game, finals, game 6. He was sick, could barely stand, could barely but he played. And he did, I think, a game-winning shot on that shot. While he was sick. And then Scottie Pippen had to hold him, had to lean on Scottie Pippen while walking back to to the huddle. So I just showed them, you reward activity, right? For network marketers, focus on activity. And these are winning mindset. If you think, well, Michael Jordan shouldn't play it, whatever, you know what? You have the wrong mindset, wrong attitude. Because leaders, anyone successful I know, whether network marketing leaders, they show up. I know a network marketing leader was super sick, but still got on a plane, flew out to support the team. Still went there, did a presentation, right? And you say, well, that's not me, but that's why you're stuck. That's why you need more attitude mindset training to really learn what it takes to be successful. And that's not all the highlights and the good fancy cars and the great lifestyle you see on social media. That is the stuff that's the stuff that people need to show. That's the thing that there's a saying. People love the glory, but they don't love the story. But the story of the hardship, that's what it takes to be successful. And the thing that makes it harder for network marketers is instant gratification. We're in the instant gratification culture. Talk about social media. Anything you want to do, a little dopamine hit, just go there, watch, right? This makes it even easier. TikTok, Instagram Reels, quick 5 seconds, 10 seconds. You want a song, you get it right away. You don't even need to wait. You want to watch a video or excerpt from a movie clip, you don't even need to rent the video. Just go to YouTube, you can find it. Instant gratification is the killer of success. They've done numerous of studies, right? The marshmallow test. You don't know what it is, go look it up. The kids that can wait longer, delayed gratification, end up doing better and successful in life. The ones who couldn't end up, sadly, the all innocent kids at 3-4 years old end up having a lot got into addiction and bad things. Delayed gratification. The number one indicator for future success for a child is delayed gratification. Whether it's success in sports, business, school, music, it's delayed gratification. So if you want something, you can train yourself to either practice delayed gratification. So maybe you want to look at something. Just say, hey, let me send out 3, and keep it simple, right? Maybe, hey, let me send out 3 reach outs, then I'll do this. I want to see what my friend is doing on social media, right? Hey, delayed gratification. Let me do this. Let me get one invite first, then do this. And it could be the simplest thing. My friend may be affected by the LA fires. And by the way, thank you for everyone who's sending me a message about it. Fortunately, we are okay. Even simple like that, you don't need to send it that second, right? Take 1 second, 5 seconds to send a follow-up message, then go out and follow up with that person, right? Small little things you can do to delay gratification. And some of you may think that's extreme, but that's what it takes to be successful. Because I tell you, network marketing is still the best way, like how I talk about the future of network marketing, it's still going to be around. It's still the best way for the average person, like me, somebody shy, quiet, Asian kid from Brooklyn, New York, speak fast, never did that great in school when it mattered, and wasn't very successful compared to my peers, but made it because of network marketing, because it gave me the opportunity. And to this day, 21 years later, I'm grateful, super grateful, still get a residual income, a 6-figure residual income from the business I built 21 years ago. Now, even though I have not done anything, I've actually kind of hired someone to manage the business, but I still get residual income from that. Every Friday, I got a check. 2 days, I'm recording this on Sunday. 2 days ago, I got a check, right? And that's something that's awesome. That's to help me pay my bills, do the baseball, do the traveling. It's so worth it. But you need to lead yourself. So a couple of tips as we wrap up is staying connected, right? That's part of the simple online system. You got to stay connected. If you're not connected, you're not going to do well. You can't build a business in isolation. You need a routine, right? You need 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. You need maybe a dedicated environment. We're talking about one of the keys to consistency. I wrote in my book is to choose your environment. Your environment, if everyone's negative, you can't do that. Environment could be in your car for 5 minutes, your routine. In the morning, 5 minutes of reach outs. During your lunch hour, another 10 minutes. Create some type of routine. Use a timer. If you're going to scroll on social media, yes, it's important to engage. 5 minutes and I'm done. Instead of being on the scroll hole and just spending 30 minutes and wasting your time, choosing your perfect prospect. By the way, that doesn't exist because someone has a great profile. Doesn't mean they're going to be a good prospect. And I know a lot of good prospects have bad profiles. So don't be prejudging, I want my good person. That good person, generally, the person you think would be good are not going to join your business anyway. But the person that will, you may not even know that person. And then the last tip is pay yourself first. Like, paying yourself first, you may have heard that term, for personal finance, right? If you, at a job, you set aside your 401k, even though we know 401k is a joke, but you take the money to set aside, you pay yourself first before you pay taxes, right? You pay yourself first. And here, pay yourself time first. Before you get your time is sucked in with, and this is something I can relate to as I get older, with your kids, with your job, everything. Wake up a little bit earlier. Wake up 15 minutes earlier and do your business first. Work on your $1 million business first. And if you don't believe it, is it worth it? Then it goes back to your vision. Do you really believe it? You need to lead yourself. You need to get connected. Go to events, right? Get inspired. Get the vision going. But you got to pay yourself first. Set time first. Get up earlier. Get up early and work on the DMO, the income producing activities, before you go react to other messages and notifications. Work on yourself first. Pay yourself first. So as we wrap up, network marketing is going to be around. It's going to be harder, not because of the government or whatever, it's because of the distractions out there. Now you can say, oh, we can do freelancing, Airbnb. Yeah, those are true. Those are legitimate threats. But at the end of the day, they don't give you residual income. They don't give you passive income. And it depends on just what your definition of success is. I have someone that does one-on-one coaching with me. He hasn't made 6 figures yet, but he makes $400 or $500 a month in residuals from his customers. Is that success? Right? That helps him pay off he basically has a free car. Not bad, right? That pays for his car payment. He's got a huge customer base. So what's your definition of success? Right? And depending on what it is, it depends on your focus and your dedication. But the key is to stay focused. Stay focused. But network marketing is still so worth it. But it's not going to happen right away. Right? And if you see people that happen right away, it's generally because of untold stories. And because I have someone I'm doing coaching right now one-on-one, and she said, I want to make 6 figures by the end of the year. I was like, look at your situation. I don't want to be a downer. I'm going to just give you the no BS truth. Straight up truth. You're not going to make 6 figures. You may not going to make 50,000. But you could make 7 figures in 5 years, but definitely not 6 figures in 1 year because of your influence, your credibility. But you need to focus on activity. If you do the activity, you will hit that income. Okay? But you have to, again, lead yourself first, delayed gratification. But it is so worth it. And it may take you 1 year. I don't know how long it's going to take you, 5 years, 3 years. You do have to get lucky, but we all know that. Hard work. Luck is when hard work meets opportunity. You work hard enough, you will get lucky. I definitely got very, very lucky. But I busted my butt for the success stories I share with you about Malaysia, Philippines, online. There was literally hundreds of things I worked on that did not work. I failed miserably on my face. But those are the lessons I learned. So if you're struggling right now, think about the lessons you're learning and stay focused. Keep working on the same thing and you will find the solutions. And there's no one size fits all because every human is different, right? What the script that worked for one person or how you present it may not work for someone else. What worked in Malaysia did not work in Philippines. What worked in Philippines did not work in the US and vice versa. Everything is slightly different. What worked for one product may not work for another product. They're different for different people. But you only get good at it reading and adapting when you stay doing the deep work, stay in the lane, and do the same thing over and over again. So network marketing is here to stay. It's awesome. But it's going to be harder if you can't focus. But if you can focus, there's so many tools. That's AI, for example. We didn't even talk about that will help you achieve success faster. So if you want help and you want to stay connected, check out my Consistency Champions group coaching. That's one of the highlights. I've been working a lot of new stuff. If you check out the guides, the website, totally outlined it. If you're on my email list, totally create a complete network marketing training hub to support you all. Go check that out. I'll put that on the show notes page, but you can definitely also see it when you go to mlmnation.com. You will see it. Anyway, hey, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If this has been helpful, please subscribe and leave a review on whatever podcast platform, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember, we are in an awesome profession. We're in the profession to help others. So go out there, stay focused, and have a positive impact on someone's life. God bless. Have an amazing day.